Carter playing.
Yeah. What's good? Y'all know the vibes. Y'all know the energy. Y'all tuned into the Linc Up featuring Symone Stanley, Lord Brunson, and yours truly, Tone DeShields II. We appreciate the love. We appreciate the support. Make sure y'all smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Y'all, how we feeling?
Jalen Carter playing. Sorry, that
Jalen Carter playing.
Spitgate is over. Spitgate is officially over.
Right. Free him, tell us backwards.
You know what? I've realized people wanted us to suffer. They wanted him out of there in like 8 weeks.
For sure.
They wanted us to suffer, man. But
they always do.
Time served. They counted that one game. You know what I'm saying?
Time served.
He did his punishment. He paid his little bread. Now Pat got to pay for that.
The fact that they even considered it being more than a fine, he shouldn't have even got ejected that whole game. It should have just been a fine. Flag and a fine.
I'm cool with it though. I'm gonna tell you why. Because he wouldn't have been out there this game.
Yeah. Because I think the league still would have did their investigation post game and decided, hey, that's completely against what we're trying to push this year.
Right.
Suspended week 2. I like the way it went personally because the moment the suspension was on the table, or the moment everything really went down, I said to myself, okay, if I'm predicting this right, hopefully they use week 1 as a retroactive suspension, like you said, LB, time served, and then they just give him a big ass fine. So basically, suspended him the first game, and he lost the game check, which is what the fine is, $57,222. So I ain't mad at it, man. We got an angry Jalen Carter coming to week 2. I'm with it.
And winning without him, that's a bonus to still win that game without him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I'm cool, man. I'm cool with whatever.
The defense, I know, like Adoree, we want to put eyes on him and all that. But I just coming out of that game with that last minute Jalen Carter ejection, and for them to still bite down and win that game, the defense standing up in the second half, like I don't have no complaints.
Yeah,
because they stepped up. They could have folded without Jalen Carter, bro.
All of them stepped up. You know, I got to agree with you, man. I got to agree with you. And then the fact that Howie Roseman is still trying to make this roster better with the addition of Zadarius Smith. Like, we haven't seen Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis together yet this year. Now we got Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, and Zadarius Smith. I don't think people understand how good Zadarius Smith is at 33 years old. And Uche was the highest graded edge rusher, you know what I mean, in the NFL last week. He was this close to getting home so many times. Jordan Davis should have had 2 sacks. But, you know, it's the first game of the season. We got some things to clean up. And I think guys going to get home on Pat.
And that's the difference is that pass rush hit home this week because, like, was Adoree Jackson cooked? You know, he might have been in the kitchen a little bit, but at the same time, like, the whole secondary was struggling because Dak had all that time. Like, the pass rush would be getting there. There was that one time where he escaped that sack, should have got brought down. Like, they was getting pressure, but they were just giving Dak way too much time to get that ball off, like, which is going to make things harder for them. So once we put Jalen Carter on the floor, once we put Zadarius Smith on the floor, once we put Cash Doll in the stands, this year going to be different.
It's definitely going to be different. It's definitely going to be different. Getting home is a big part of what we do for real. And that pressure make guys take check downs, and we got the dogs that's going to be able to secure them tackles underneath. The Chiefs are shorthanded. Let's not forget this. And then what's up with dude, man, Elliott Shore-Parks, man? Buddy's a clown.
I got him blocked. So I don't even know
this is an acceptable loss. Like, what do you mean? This is
let's dog walk this thing, right? You know, we done hit on a bunch of different things, right? Let's dog walk this thing. So as far as Jalen Carter goes, right? Because him being in for that KC game is huge. I don't care what the Chiefs going through. Having Jalen Carter against Patrick Mahomes is necessary, right? I think not having Jalen Carter in week 1 completely blitzed that Eagles team top to bottom in terms of just going into that game. Like, you go into that game, it's opening night, banner drop, everybody ready to rock, and all of a sudden you see a big ass flag fly across the screen saying he's out of the game.
Right.
That's something that completely can throw your game plan off. I mean, Jalen Carter is the best player on that Eagles defense, right?
No, he's not.
Some may argue.
Arguably the best player.
I was just about to say some may argue Zach Bond is the best player on that defense, right? You can take your pick. The bottom line is he's like that, and he's a guy that you build your defense around. He's a guy that you have to game plan for. And when you take a guy like that out of the game before the game starts, that's advantage Cowboys instantly. And you immediately saw their game plan change the moment he went out the game. Like they started running right up the middle. And it was what it was. But I think what I take away from that game specifically, I was really impressed with the way Jordan Davis rallied. I was really impressed with the way Zach Bond and Jahai Campbell played in that game. Like you guys said, I think all things considered, when you factor in all the variables in that game, it's banner night, week 1. You're playing against a divisional rival. You're at home. Crowd is going crazy with expectations. Jalen Carter gets ejected, right? So many the rain delay, so many variables in that game could have amounted to a Philadelphia Eagles loss, and they rallied and they stayed poised, and that's what championship DNA is all about, right? Dallas comes out, scores first. What does Jalen Hurts do? He's a scoring drive. Dallas comes back, score again. What does Jalen Hurts do? I'm right with you. Let's we can go
band for band.
Band for band. We go bag for bag. I like that. We can go band for band. So Jalen Hurts in that offense continued to keep pace, and then eventually Dallas cracked. They folded. They kicked the field goal. And what did Jalen Hurts do? We taking the touchdown. We got the lead, 21-17 now. And from that point forward, the Eagles never looked back with the lead. I just think that you go through something like that in week 1, all things considered, you just happy to get out with the win.
But bringing up Zach Bond, bro, like this Zach Bond, Jahai Campbell duo,
they're gonna be the best duo in the league by week 5.
Like, it's scary, bro. Like, it was just so good seeing those two. Like, you got a rookie. We got high expectations for him. Anytime you take someone in the first round, you got high expectations for him. And then everything he was able to do at training camp, standing out every day. But then it's like, okay, it's camp. We don't want to count camp stats, yada, yada, yada. So to see him come out in game 1 like a wrecking ball, Zach Bond picking up right where he left off from last season, like, there's a lot of negative, obviously. I'm sure we're going to talk about it in the secondary. But that linebacker group, knowing that linebacker group is going to be even better than last season, knowing that this defensive line is going to be fully charged, that's exciting going forward with this defense.
I agree, man. And I think the reason why we didn't really try and go for a CB2 with all these other moves is because how good the linebackers can cover. You know what I mean? I feel like the linebackers can cover at an elite level. I don't even think it's going to take week 5, Tone. I think they're going to solidify themselves this week against Kansas City, Zach Bond and Jahai Campbell. I'm not going to lie to y'all, man. Nakobe Dean can't get that job back, man, because I seen Jahai Campbell do things that Nakobe Dean just simply cannot do.
Just physically, right? Just physically.
It's a lot of people that physically. Zach Bond and Fred Warner might be the only other 2 linebackers that can do what I saw Jahai Campbell do from a standpoint of running up the seam and playing that type of defense against a pass on the tight end. Like, that was like a touchdown throw that he broke up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you see Zach Bond chasing down Miles Sanders. Like, these guys are just physically gifted. Like, how old is Zach Bond?
He's like 28, 27.
He hawked Miles Sanders down, bro.
And then Jahai forces the fumble 2 plays later.
You know what I mean? Like, just staying checked in mentally to that play. Because that looked like it was just a touchdown, right? You know what I'm saying? But to stay mentally checked into that, knowing, okay, they going to get the ball in the red zone, but we got dogs. We going to make a play and force that fumble. Like, the mindset, that's the mindset of a winning defense right there. Like,
the mindset is you ain't score until you got in there. Period. You ain't do nothing until you got in there, because he chased him down, and then who else make the next play a couple joints later? Jahai Campbell with the punch out. The linebacking core was phenomenal, man. And Jordan Davis might have had his best game as a pro in the absence of Jalen Carter. You know what I mean? So I feel real positive. And I feel positive about Adoree Jackson going into week 2. To say the truth.
Is it him you feel confident in, or is the matchup you feel confident in?
But also, go ahead, Elby.
Both, because I feel like I feel like if he looks bad this week, then you got to do something because they don't have Xavier Worthy playing or Rashee Rice.
Now, I will say that. I will say, 'cause to your point, you mentioned earlier how they didn't necessarily go for a CB2 right after week 1 or whatever it may be. I think I said a couple days ago that I wouldn't be surprised if Howie is not necessarily jumping the gun on a new CB2 because of the matchup this week against the Chiefs. They're missing Xavier Worthy and Rashee Rice, their number 1 and number 2 receivers. So if there's any game to get right in, it's this one for Adoree Jackson.
He wasn't necessarily horrible in the second half either, though.
And then with my thing is with the why I'm not stressing Adoree this week is because obviously the Chiefs are injured. 2, we coming back even stronger. We bringing in the reinforcements. You know, helicopter coming in, they hanging off that rope ladder. You know what I'm saying? Ready to parachute into this thing. We bringing in some more soldiers, and not to make an excuse for nobody. It's not an excuse, but that's tough. Week 1 for somebody like Adoree who's trying to get back right, trying to get back to some years ago, and you got CD and Pickens and Dak coming back on his revenge tour week 1. That's tough.
But we knew that, though.
He looked bad, y'all.
He did bad. I'm not saying he did it. I'm just saying, all things considered, I'll give him 1 more week, is what I'm saying.
I think that's fair.
The only reason why he's getting 1 week is because the Cowboys just didn't have they don't have the guts to go out there and win a game like that. Because if they're not dropping the ball, you know what I mean? Adoree Jackson's job is being called for. Let's be honest. He's only getting 1 more week because a lot of passes were dropped, interceptions and passes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So that's why he only getting 1 more week. But at the same time, man, we knew what he was up against all offseason. We knew that, hey, you got CD and George Pickens. We knew this.
Mm-hmm.
We knew it, and they start picking on him. Then when he got hurt and went out the game for a little minute, they picked on Ja'Cory Bennett, who looked absolutely better than him. So, I mean, we got options, man. I don't know what it is with Ja'Cory Bennett right now. They feel like he's not ready to take it over. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I mean, it's week 1. I try to reserve, to your point, right, about giving Adoree Jackson a little bit more time to figure this thing out. You know, it's week 1, and I try to reserve any sweeping declarations, right? I try not to speak in absolutes because, again, it's only 1 week. And let's remember, last season, the first first week and some change, all of a sudden the Saints were Super Bowl favorites. And then we had to humble them, right? So it's one of those things where week 1, we can a lot can fool you in terms of who's good, who's not. Sometimes the matchup matters, whatever it may be. But the longer the season goes, we're gonna really find out exactly what we have in this team. And I think guys like Ja'Cory Bennett and Adoree Jackson should settle in significantly more. Granted, they played the most out there in the preseason. Like, you know, a lot of them starters didn't play. Zach Bond didn't play, and you know, so on and so forth. And same thing with the Eagles offense, right? I know a lot of people have been very critical of Kevin Patullo in particular when it came to the Eagles game plan, so to speak, right? And play calling. But the reality is they scored on 4 consecutive drives, 3 touchdowns, 1 field goal. And sure, you got your offense. In order for your offense to reach its intended peak, A.J. Brown and Devontae have to get those touches. They got to get involved early. Totally understand that. I will not even dismiss that. But I think all things considered, like you guys have been saying, all things considered with the way that game went, I think I'm willing to give Kevin Patullo significantly more grace than a lot of other people, mainly because, let's be honest, last year, we struggled to score in the first quarter. We struggled to score in the first half. And all of a sudden, we got 21 points in the first half. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and overreact to Kevin Patullo's performance from week 1, all things considered.
I'm not overreacting to his performance, but it just wasn't that good to me. You know what I mean? Because the only way you really win a game like that by only scoring 3 points in the second half is if the other team don't score at all in the second half. You know what I mean? Like, we just couldn't get anything going in the second half. Like, I'm going to chalk it up because to the delay had people ready to go home. You know what I mean? In the stand. So I understand the importance and the significance on the delay in the building. But also at the same time, I just think the offense was a little stagnant. You know, there's no way that the Cowboys defense can be that locked down. There's no way. I refuse to believe that the Cowboys defense is that good to where the only place you can go with the ball The only way you could beat these guys is have a quarterback that's so intelligent like Jalen Hurts, I should say.
Yeah.
I also
think AJ Brown wasn't getting the best separation either. I watched that game 2 or 3 times over. I watched some of the tape, the film. He really wasn't getting the separation that we used to seeing. Like, and the reality is, I'm gonna be honest. A lot of those guys was not open. Like for example, those 2 touchdown runs Jalen Hurts ran it in, them motherfuckers was not open.
It wasn't open.
They wasn't.
It wasn't open. They played Jalen Hurts. I feel like how Tampa Bay plays Jalen Hurts. I feel like that's the tape they watched. They played a zone and they tried to keep everything in front of them. Because if you want to be honest, man, in terms of beating Jalen Hurts, everybody got the game plan wrong. Like, everybody think that they're going to blitz and play man-to-man. Jalen Hurts and them receivers are going to kill you. Your best chance of beating Jalen Hurts is making him read the zone. That's like with any quarterback. Making him read whatever zone you in. You know what I mean? But Jalen Hurts is smart enough to understand what zone you in, and he's going to use his legs. If it's not that, I love the fact that he didn't force it because nobody was open.
Exactly. And that's the thing, right? Week 1, get the win. Don't force anything. Protect the football. And let's be honest, the team that turned the ball over lost the game. So you know, again, it's week 1. Sometimes all you got to do is go in there, be efficient, and get the win. He completed over 80% of his passes. If you adjust his completion percentage, you know, he had 4 incompletions, but 3 of them was throwaways. And I think one was a drop. One was a drop. So if you adjust that, he was perfect all night. He made the right decisions. He made things with his he made things happen with his legs, and even beyond that, he just looked fresh. He looked like he had a pop when he was running.
He looked faster, didn't he?
He looked faster, if you ask me.
He did look faster.
So you know,
it seemed like maybe like the last season and a half, like when he was taking off, it would kind of be like a little consciousness to it. Like it didn't have that full explosiveness he would have like early on when he was first starting.
Yeah. But you know, Jalen, he got that gear. He got that gear
but
where
also he had that injury, you know. So I think he was just a little bit more cautious the past year and a half.
The O-line could have played better too.
Yes.
They had some injuries too, though. When did Landon Dickerson get hurt? At what point?
After the delay. He left after the delay.
So late third.
And also keep this in mind too. They had momentum. Because remember, they came out of halftime, they kicked the field goal. Then they forced the fumble in the red zone. They had momentum. Then the delay happens. I think that offense goes in there and scores a touchdown without that delay. I really do. I think they had the Cowboys on their heels.
I thought the delay happened after the fumble.
It did. It happened right after the fumble.
That's what I'm saying.
That was third quarter?
Yeah, that was third quarter. That's what I'm saying.
If there was no delay, the offense would have came and scored.
I think they would have scored after that fumble. I think they definitely would have scored after that.
That's what I'm saying. Because you know, they had momentum. Dallas is driving. Miles Sanders runs for like 49 yards. Zach Bond hawks him down. All of a sudden, Zach Bond forces. All of a sudden, Jahai Campbell makes Miles Sanders fumble. Eagles get the ball back, and that's when the delay happened. Right after that,
they was forced. You know that they let Dallas regroup.
Exactly.
Right.
Dallas was going in the locker room like this during the delay.
Right, but also Kevin Patullo should have been able to regroup too. We had the ball. That's an extended halftime. That was an hour break. That's longer than halftime to draw something up, man. These guys is in the big leagues, man.
Mulata got hurt too.
Say that again.
Yeah, he got hit up in that game, but he finished it. It wasn't like
he got dinged up, but he stayed in, right?
Yeah. I don't know, LB. I'm not trying to make an excuse for nobody, but I guess I'm just trying to think about like football is such a momentum sport, and
I agree.
And when you just came out of they just came out of halftime. They just came out of halftime. And all of a sudden, the delay happens, and you in there. You don't know how long you're gonna be in there. You don't know how long the delay gonna happen. They was in there for an hour. So I just think, you know, it definitely hurt Landon Dickerson because I think the longer he was sitting, the longer that back tightened up. So again, I mean, you beat your rival again. You beat your rival. Week 1, banner night. Your top tier player on defense goes out before the game even starts. That throws your defensive game plan all the way off. You got a new OC. It's so many variables that went into that game. And I'm like, you know what? They beat them 24-20, no turnovers. The quarterback was efficient and effective, made plays. They shut them out in the second half. I'm okay.
Yeah. See, my thing is,
go ahead, Mom.
When it comes to Kevin Patullo, I feel like it's too soon to pull his file because they're asking in the chat, is his file on the desk? I think it's way too soon to pull his file. Like Tone was saying, first of all, we have a whole half of the offense cooking, responding when they need to, going band for band. when we needed a score, boom, score, boom, drive, boom, boom. Plus, the back was kind of against the wall. I feel like a little bit with Patullo because it's like, is AJ Brown injured? Is he not? So that's a little handicap that he had to work with. Like if the Eagles were just using AJ Brown as a decoy, that's a handicap that Kevin Patullo is working with because that's your whole number one option that you can't even work with. Plus, like you said, with the delay and the injury on the O-line was getting a little.
It was a little leaky. It was a little leaky.
They was getting
the foul on the desk.
It's the on the foul on the desk already.
It's on the desk, man. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you why. The way Saquon Barkley was used, the foul on the desk, man. It was too many runs up the middle, up into the heart.
I agree with that. I do agree with that.
Up into the heart. We didn't run off tackle, off guard. Every time we ran to the edge, Saquon was cooking. They didn't have the sideline speed or the athleticism to challenge our offensive line when we get our offensive line in space and Saquon behind them. Where was the running back screen? I think we saw one to Shipley, but Saquon Barkley should be in that position as well.
I would definitely agree with you.
I mean, I just think when teams are playing zone like the Dallas Cowboys, you could screen them out of that zone and you could run them out of that zone going off tackle. That's just football one-on-one from all the football I've been watching. There's no need to keep running up the middle in a zone and then having your quarterback drop back with them weak-ass routes that was being ran.
I will agree with that.
How you don't go back to the screen again? Shipley almost took that shit to the house.
I definitely will agree with you on that. I do agree that the running game plan was very suspect.
The only reason why I'm saying the foul is not on the desk is for the same reason why we said everybody's foul is not on the desk because it's week one. He's in the new role. It's his first day on the job in the foul pool.
I'm with you, Symone.
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. Foul pulled again. Another reason why he had all summer to prepare for Dallas. You got all summer to prepare for one opponent. Now you want me to feel warm and fuzzy about you having to do it for a new guy every week now? You had 3 months and you came out looking like that?
Listen, everybody had 3 months and it's week one. Everybody know week one is one of the most unpredictable weeks in football. Like you can prepare all you want. When them bullets start flying, you learn more about your opponent. And you can game plan what you game planning for. But then all of a sudden, Micah gets traded the week before. You would think that's advantage Eagles. Right, and it should, and ultimately it was. Again, I'm not one to just jump out the window after 1 week. I mean, I just can't. So many things happen inside of a football game. I'm just not there.
I'm not jumping out the window.
He's not buying it at all.
I'm just looking.
Is the window open? Is the window open?
The foul on desk.
The foul on desk means that. That's not jumping out the window. That's mean I got my eye.
Follow. I took it out it's out the file cabinet and it's on it. It's not to the top of the list of the stack of stuff on desk, but it's out the file. I see.
It's like I gotta come back to this later. It's like
it's up for review. It's up for review. How to use Saquon Barkley not off tackle is criminal. Dude ran for 2. He was there. Kevin Patullo was there. He ran for 2,000 yards basically off tackle and off the guard all year. Why are you running him into what's the dude named Frank Clark?
Kenny?
You running him right
Kenny
into
Clark. Kenny Clark. Yeah.
You running him right into Kenny Clark.
Yeah,
they was eating that shit up. They was eating that up. So I mean, the basic principles of offensive coordinator is to get your playmakers in space. Jalen Hurts could have threw for 300 yards if you use the running back screen more than once. It don't even got to be the Saquon.
Somebody said,
I will say this though.
Out the window.
I will say this though. I really, really, really liked.
I already know what LB about to say. We trying to go back to back. I don't care what the players say. They say it's not back to back. We fans. We trying to go back to back. I'm trying to have a parade in February.
But keep in mind though. LB is still one of the people who was like, "Nah, we're not even calling it back to back. We're not even doing none of that. We just focused on the season. We ain't worrying about going back to back because it's going to happen."
But we know what it's going to be called when we do go. It's going to be called back to back.
Of course. You know what I mean? But you know, again, with all that, right? With all your concerns, LB, about Kevin Patullo, I still think that for Jalen Hurts to be as efficient and effective as he was under the circumstances that you lined out, I think that speaks tremendously to his growth as a quarterback, his development, and his ability to stay poised and just be efficient and take what the defense gives him and just allow the game to develop on its own. And then you make the plays you need to make to win the game. I would like again, watching that game multiple times, Jalen Hurts was very, very in control of that game, and I think that's a great sign, all things considered. But going forward, I expect more out of Jalen Hurts. Of course, I know Jalen Hurts is going to continue to win games. I expect more out of KP. I expect more out of that defense. I just think so much happened in that game that was so weird that you got the win. You beat your rival week 1. Hey, live for another day. Go clean it up. You got 10 days to get right for KC. And that's going to be that. But I do got to ask y'all opinion about a move Howie Roseman he made. I mean, y'all spoke about it. Howie Roseman is constantly, living on the margins, trying to improve this roster any way possible. When y'all saw that Tank Bigsby trade come across the wire, what was your instant reaction? Symone, I can start with you.
I was hyped. I figured Will Shipley probably was, going to be out for some time. I just assumed Will Shipley was going to be out for some time. And I'm like, replacing Will Shipley injured for a few weeks and you bring in Tank Bigsby, that's nuts. Like, that's a big move. Other people get hurt. Other people's running back twos get hurt. They going digging through, some people's practice.
They going through the practice squad.
They going looking on Spoke Track, seeing who a free agent. No, we going to get Tank Bigsby, someone who had almost 800 yards last season, young, fresh legs, a boom, 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 power mover. Big pickup. I was super excited. Also, Shipley, we gonna miss you, bro.
No, yeah, I was excited as well. He better than Will Shipley. You know what I mean? We just get that out of the way right now. He's better than he's better than Will Shipley. It's an upgrade to the running back room by far. You know what I mean? If your running back room got Saquon Barkley, Tank Bigsby, and AJ Dillon, you winning. Shout out to Bigsby. You winning though.
Hey, Symone, I understand how LB. I understand how LB lit. I get it now. He get to your nerve. He pressed that button.
I just say
I'm talking about some. Shout out Will Shipley. We'll miss you. He better than Will Shipley. That's
what I'm saying. Like he know what to say to kind of trigger that reaction out of you.
It's just the first thing that came to my mind when you talking about apples and when you talk about the RB2 position, you've upgraded it significantly. I hate it had to happen on the back of a guy getting hurt, but Tank Bigsby could play punt return. He can play kickoff return. Tank Bigsby is an every down back in the National Football League at RB2. Will Shipley is not an every down back. He's just not an every down back. Will Shipley is a guy that can give you some action in the passing game for sure. Will Shipley, Tank Bigsby is a pick up blocks. Will Shipley does everything Tank Bigsby does, but Tank Bigsby does it better. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie, man. He does it better, man.
I think Tank is a. So let me just say this, right? Let me start with the positive, right? The great things about him, right? He's coming off of a 2024 season where he played in 16 games, only had one start, but Travis Etienne had a lot. He was injured a lot last year, so he got a lot of run. He had in those 16 games, he had 168 rush attempts, 766 rush yards, averaged over 4.5 yards an attempt, and 7 rushing touchdowns. And he also had 39 runs that accounted for a first down conversion. And he was averaging about 10 to 11 attempts per game. So he was your quintessential RB2 in Jacksonville. But here's where his true value comes in for me. 471 of his rush yards in 2024 came after contact. 471 of those 766 yards came after contact. So he's a wrecking ball. He's a guy that you better make sure you wrap him up. Don't try to shoulder tackle him. Don't try to do none of that weak shit. Don't arm tackle. You got to put arms, feet, handcuffs. You got to make sure you put that man on the ground. You feel what I'm saying? And I just think you put him in that room with the Saquon Barkley, who is as explosive as we know him to be, AJ Dillon, who's a battling ram, and you got Tank Bigsby, a young ascending guy. Don't be surprised if Tank Bigsby ascends to RB2 and AJ Dillon descends to RB3. And again, we never know, right? It could be situational, but I think adding Tank Bigsby immediately improves your running back room. I think the Eagles have the best running back room in the NFL.
I agree. And also the addition of Tank Bigsby lets me know, honestly, if we want to keep it 100, it lets me know that we shouldn't be looking for nothing crazy out of the passing game for real. For real. I think this team is building itself to be able to ground and pound you. You know what I mean? This team is we shouldn't be looking for our quarterback to throw for 35 touchdowns, man. That's not even how we built. That's why you go get a guy like Tank Bigsby. We're built to run the ball. You know what I mean? We're trying to run the ball, and we're trying to feed our wide receivers as we see fit. So I need to see what the passing game gonna look like this year, because ultimately that's going to determine our success long term. You know what I mean? That's going to determine how far we can go when it get cold, if we can throw the ball or not. I know we can, but listen, all this shit, when your offensive coordinator foul on the desk, it don't matter who you pick up on the offensive side of the ball.
Wasn't Kellen Moore foul on the desk at some point?
Kellen Moore foul was never on the desk with me. I didn't want Kellen Moore.
That's even worse. That's even worse.
I didn't want him in the offseason because Kellen Moore got a reputation for abandoning the run and throwing too much. Kellen Moore reversed that. He said, shit, I got Saquon Barkley now.
When did that happen?
Run for 2,000.
When did that happen?
I'm still going to throw when I need to throw. And then you see the game that Kellen Moore called. I don't see Kevin Patullo can't call that type of game that was just called in the Super Bowl. I just don't see it yet.
Here's what we got to keep in mind. Like those first few weeks, that Eagles team didn't necessarily become what we saw until after week 5. And Kellen Moore, he did it, right? He did it. But we got to keep it like we got to be honest. Kellen Moore, I don't want to disrespect this man because he did it. He did it. But we can't pretend Kellen Moore wasn't everybody good graces right off the rip. He wasn't. He wasn't. People was questioning Kellen Moore's usage of Saquon Barkley. Like it wasn't until week 5 we just say, you know what, we're gonna simplify this shit and we're gonna get to what we do. We're gonna do what we do best. Like KP got one game on the resume, one game.
The immediate issues with the team from week 1 to 5 was defense. It was defense. That was the immediate issues from the team. Mind you, we only lost to the Falcons because we dropped a pass on a great play design by Kellen Moore.
That Saints game, we couldn't put up no points into the fourth quarter. That Buccaneers
and people was complaining all last season because we couldn't score in the first quarter.
Yeah, that's another thing. We was complaining all last year about the script. How can we not script?
We didn't score to the first quarter till what, the Giants game? Like what, October?
It was something like that. But even then, though, we were still a slow burn team that wouldn't really get started to the second quarter. We were complaining about Kellen Moore's inability to set up a script to score in the first half. I mean, the first quarter. We ain't talking about the first drive. The first quarter, he couldn't even score. Like,
a lot of people didn't like his first 15 design plays for sure.
We got to keep it real. Meanwhile, Kevin Patullo, his first 4 drives, they score.
See, the way I see it, I feel like people is always going to be. There's always going to be something to not be like satisfied with, or to feel like could be done better. You know what I'm saying?
Of course, that's what everything. But if you score the first 4 drives in a game and only score 3 in the second half, I mean, what am I look? What? I don't have a big enough sample size to say he trash or to say he good. That's why the foul is just on the desk right now.
And that's my point.
It's just on the desk.
That's all I'm trying to say. We don't have
I'm not mad at the foul being on the desk.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it either, because ultimately, you know, I'm agreeing to the point that, hey, you got to do a better job getting Saquon in his spot. You got to do a better job getting AJ Brown and Symone involved. I'm with all of that, right? But I'm not ready to say, yo, we got to watch. We can be concerned. I don't know if he can get it done. It's one game.
I think people are confused with what foul on the desk means.
Right.
Foul on the desk simply means we got to come back to this. So I'm putting it on my desk. I got to come back to it. You know what I'm saying?
You know how somebody say something crazy to you and you think like that sounded a little crazy, but you don't say nothing to that person yet. The foul on the desk.
You file it away to come back later in case they say something else out of pocket.
They might not have meant it that way. Right. Now your file is I got your file. Now if it happened twice, oh, you really, yeah. You know what I mean? That's all the file on the desk. I saw a little something. Maybe
file on the desk mean is we got to monitor this. We got to watch it. It don't necessarily mean it's trouble. It just mean The eye.
And you know what really bothers me about, what really got the foul on the desk for me? It's not even Saquon, it's not even AJ. What really got the foul on the desk for me is that I feel like Jalen Hurts had to work way too hard week 1, bro. He worked way too hard week 1. If you don't have Jalen Hurts, you get blown out in that game.
This girl said, can he get a verbal warning first?
Nah, we're trying to repeat.
I feel like a verbal warning is worse than foul on the desk.
I do too.
Yeah,
because you don't even know the foul on the desk.
Because that means you confronted the person. Like,
you don't even know the foul. He don't know the foul on the desk.
He don't even know the foul on the desk. A verbal warning is like, I know that they watching me.
If I gotta talk to you now, you sweating like, damn, how long has my foul been on the desk?
Exactly. Now you sweating. It's like if a principal sees somebody, maybe getting to class late, you like, let me watch that kid. But it's not too far to address the kid because you don't know. Maybe
we ain't gotta address him. Jalen Hurts worked way too hard in that game.
He didn't work too hard.
I watched a lot of football this weekend. Listen, I watched a lot of football this weekend.
That's not working too hard.
Listen, I watched a lot of football this week. A lot.
It came easy to Jalen. Never looked like
he never looked like he was struggling.
He never looked like he was
struggling. He made it look easy. They bracketed every route. Significantly multiple times. The Dallas Cowboys bracketed every route. They played that zone to a T, to where the only option was to run the ball. He out there juking people for first downs. That's working hard.
But it was effortless, though. He never looked like he was struggling. He never looked like he was under duress.
That's because he's
collected. That's not working too hard.
That's because he's elite. He's elite.
Yeah, so that's not working too hard. It's working hard if you a bum. If you a bum, then you overexerting yourself. This is Super Bowl MVP. That's natural. That's light work. That ain't working hard.
The only design runs were on tush pushes, to my knowledge.
Which I actually liked. That's another thing about Kellen Moore's game plan that was pissing me off. Some of those design runs with Jalen Hurts just didn't work. He still would use them. It just didn't work. Like some of them are like jabs. Like Jalen Hurts really. Why am I jabbing my quarterback? Why am I jabbing with my? I'm not jabbing with my quarterback. I'm sorry.
Right, you could jab. You could jab. You could jab with Saquon. You could jab with whoever. But Jalen Hurts made his own jabs. He made his own jabs by running around and making them aware. Like, listen, he ran for 2 touchdowns on the first 2 drives.
Those Jalen Hurts runs weren't jabs. They were hooks because they were breaking their backs every time. Exactly. Like every time they thought they had him, he was gone for like 10, 15 yards. Like those weren't jabs. Those were hooks.
Like
I'm telling you, man, when you are dropping back looking to throw and you have to evade that plan because nobody is open, you are working hard.
It's football.
That is hard work.
I watched a lot of football this weekend. I watched everybody, all them quarterbacks. And I'm telling you, to your point, all them motherfuckers is working hard.
Not all of them. I seen some that ain't work too hard.
Who didn't work hard?
Ooh.
Herbert ain't work hard. He's one that I seen that ain't work hard. Herbert had their number from beginning to end. I don't think Herbert worked hard. Who else? I watched a lot of football this week.
Okay, to your point, right? To your point about that, because I watched that game too. I watched that game twice, actually. That Chiefs secondary was food. The windows he was throwing in was way more gargantuan than the windows.
So do you agree? Do you agree that off of this film
wasn't getting that much pressure?
So do you agree?
Yeah, and he wasn't even getting pressure. That's a good point.
Okay. So we're better than the Chargers, right?
Do I think we're a better team than the Chargers? Yeah, for sure.
We should have the same food on the menu. If the Chargers ain't struggle, we don't need to be struggling. We got better wide receivers. We got a better running back. If the Chargers don't, if we should not struggle like that the way we did against the Cowboys.
It's two different opponents. I think that's a false.
No, you got a week now, bro. You got a week now to prepare.
What? Let me ask you this.
Are you saying like when we play the Chiefs?
Yeah, I'm talking about Sunday at 4
Okay,
o'clock.
my bad.
Sunday at 4 o'clock.
My bad.
Knowing
Sorry.
knowing what we saw Herbert and them do to them, the
Yes,
game
I
plan that they
agree.
use.
My bad.
If you're a good offensive coordinator, you should be able to take from that, and you should be able to create easy throws and easy opportunities for your football team.
I agree. Next week, I agree. Sunday.
That's all I'm saying.
I thought you were talking about comparing the Eagles Cowboys game to that Chiefs Chargers game.
This is all in context. I use Herbert because our next opponent is who Herbert just looked. He made it look easy against them.
And now let's also say Jalen made it look easy with what he did to not act. Now you could have said Jalen shouldn't have had to do all that, but he made it look easy.
He didn't make it look easy because he's good.
Yeah. So you said Jalen better make it look easy. He did last week.
Okay, so what about the quarterback who not athletic like Jalen Hurts? That guy
all
can't do that.
I'm saying is Herbert made it look easy and Jalen made it look easy too. That's all I'm saying. Jalen made it look easy too.
Yeah, they both made it look easy.
And another
now,
thing, like you gotta keep in mind
I can see what if you're saying. I'm not disagreeing with you saying that he shouldn't have had to do all that, but with what he did, he made it look easy. Now, should he have had to do it? Debatable, but he looked effortless in that game.
But you also have to keep in mind, you have to expect, like I said, it's week 1, right? You got to anticipate the Chiefs ironing out what went wrong in week 1. Teams make adjustments. Teams improve ultimately, right? That's the goal. So I understand your logic, right? If Herbert did what he did, if Herbert and the Chargers did what they did to the Chiefs, the Eagles should be able to do that and some. I understand that logic, but I think it's flawed and it's missing one crucial component, which is teams make adjustments and they change and you game plan differently for different opponents.
We're not exempt from that, though. We're not exempt from making adjustments either, though. We also have adjustments to make.
Correct.
We also have adjustments to make.
Is AJ Brown hurt or not? Because if AJ Brown is hurt,
he is.
Then that's a huge factor into our passing game.
The injury report come out. The injury report come out this afternoon. The injury report should be coming out soon.
Listen, man. Like I said, I watched that game more than once. He wasn't moving the way I'm used. He wasn't coming in and out of his breaks the way I'm used to seeing him. Personally. Just keeping it all the way.
Yeah, I feel like they don't use AJ Brown as a decoy in week 1. I think this. I firmly believe this. I firmly believe that a lot of people just don't understand the playbook. That's what it looked like to me. It looked like the offense was very, very vanilla because they don't have confidence in whatever Kevin Patullo was trying to bring to the table just yet. Some of them plays, they look like AJ ain't even know what the hell to do. He wasn't running full speed. Like when you know what to do, you running full speed. He missed a lot of time.
Or you don't run full speed if your hamstring not all the way right.
Yeah, you do, but I don't see the Eagles playing him if that's the case. That's what I'm saying. I don't see us using our $30 million guy as a decoy. I think he was healthy, and he played the whole game. His other guys don't have a problem coming out when they got banged up or wasn't feeling good.
I don't know. I don't think he 100%. I don't. Go ahead.
I think he was healthy, man, and he damn sure looked healthy on his one target and his one catch. That was real crucial too.
Yeah, that was a big catch. Making the 3rd and 3. So again, I think overall, what we all can agree on is we have an expectation that this offense will and should be more explosive going forward. I do want to put into context that the Eagles historically, those first 3 or 4 weeks of the season, they're filling out they're regularly filling out their offense because their starters don't play in the preseason. So those first few weeks of the season kind of function as their preseason, and it's important for them to get the wins in that stretch because otherwise they'll be behind the 8 ball. Like for the Eagles to be figuring it out and still getting wins, that's the goal. But again, I know I said it ad nauseum, but my position is I'm still in wait and see mode. I'm not ready to declare anything about this team until about maybe week 4, week 5. I need a 3 to 4 game sample size to say what somebody is and isn't.
I don't know, man. I like that. I like that approach, but it just don't take me that long, man. Once I see you got to play like Saquon Barkley and you don't run to the outside, I got to look at you different, man. I got to that didn't make sense to me because
And
the
also,
Cowboys
Kellen
played
Moore was the victim of that too. By the way, he was the victim of that too. Like I rewatched some of them games from
not
last
running,
year.
not running to the outside with Saquon.
Kellen Moore was a victim of that too. He was a victim of that.
90% of Saquon's 60-yard runs came off tackle and off to the outside.
But what did he do? Where did the run begin and where did Saquon end up? A lot of them Jones, Saquon had to bounce it out. And he saw the lane. And he took off. Like, we got to give credit where credit's due. Like, what I'm talking about is they weren't designed to go to the outside. That's what I'm talking about.
So was it an issue with Saquon's vision?
No, what I'm saying is
what's going on up here? Because
the conversation is play calling, right? The conversation is Saquon Barkley consistently being ran up the middle. That's the problem, right? We don't like that. We didn't like that from Kellen Moore, correct? So what I'm trying to say is, Kellen Moore had that same bad habit. Saquon just made it look good. He made it look good.
I don't remember. I don't remember the conversation around Kellen Moore of Saquon Barkley just being ran up the middle, because Saquon Barkley was damn near. He was just unstoppable last year. Mm-hmm. He was unstoppable last year. Maybe it's some of the offensive line, because Kevin Patullo did come out today and say that guys weren't.
They didn't block correctly. He said that.
We didn't have a guy back there.
He said something about the blocking, so maybe it was a blocking issue. I don't know. But I know when the design runs to the outside, they had great success.
Yeah, I feel like, honestly, we just going to have to see a lot next week. Now, next week, it's a good matchup if you take the jerseys off to see what we got. They secondaries mid, they pass rush is mid, they receivers is hurt. So it should be a great matchup. It should be a great matchup for us to see what we got, but it is adding in all the drama of the Super Bowl and all that. So, like, the Chiefs are going to be getting up a little bit more, playing above themselves a little bit more than they were against the Chargers. But, yeah, we definitely missing Big Becton, bro.
Yeah. It's not that, I mean, because Saquon did break a hell of a lot of runs off to the right side of the line behind Becton and Lane for sure. Them inside zone runs. But at the end of the day, I think the talent is there to put up a better offensive performance than we just did. I just think that's my issue. The talent is there to be able to draw up more creative, more just, you have to be more creative with that type of talent, man. Drawing up plays where Jalen Hurts has to take the check down because that's a smart thing to do, because they're playing zone, or he has to run because they're playing zone. You have to be able to scheme guys open. They're zone beaters. Wide receiver screens are zone beaters. Running back screens are zone beaters. You have to run people out of these zones and make them play man to man. But the offensive line ain't play that great, so it's a lot. We're gonna see in this Chiefs game though.
Yeah, and we got to keep in mind the Eagles are going to be running up against a very motivated Chiefs team. They lost their season opener. And we're going into Arrowhead at their home opener, so the environment is definitely going to be volatile. So they definitely can't go in there expecting them to lay down, thinking it's going to be a cakewalk. They still are the Chiefs, but I do believe they've been mortal. They're mortal now. They're human, and I just think that they can be had at this point. And I was watching what Mahomes had to do just to get points on the board. Like, that's a motherfucker that worked hard. That's working hard. Like, comparing with Jalen Hurts and Mahomes, he had to work hard.
He missed a lot
versus with Jalen Hurts,
bro. He was missing some shit that he missed a lot of throws, man. A lot of throws.
Like missed, the emphasis.
What, they got a kid named Thornton or something like that? I guess he's the deep play
guy. Thornton. He missed him like 2 times wide open. Yep, I'm like, bro.
We gotta look. We gotta make sure we're keeping tabs on him, because he has to have a big game for them to be explosive in the passing game, and Hollywood Brown as well. But he missed a lot of people, bro. He missed a lot of throws, man. I don't know what was he under a lot of duress?
Yeah, so their offensive line didn't play well in that game. As a matter of fact, Their starting left tackle and right tackle, their rookie left tackle, Josh Simmons, he had 2 false starts in that game. And their veteran right tackle, Jawan Taylor, had 2 false starts and 2 holds. Overall, that offensive line really struggled in that game. And he was running for his life for the most part.
Yeah, man. Uche was so close, man.
A lot of them was close. Jalix Hunt was close.
Yeah, Hunt was
Jordan
close.
Davis was close.
Just flat out missed a couple of times. Now that you bring back a Jalen Carter, they have to double team. They have to pay attention to Jalen Carter. An angry Jalen Carter, bro. So guys should be able to come free. I don't know how many snaps Darius Smith going to get because he wasn't on the team all training camp. You know what I mean? He just been kind of like working out on his own, I guess, or whatever. How that go? You know what I'm saying? Been with that lady. Been with that lady. Getting this energy depleted. He might need a little time. You know what I mean? He might need a little time till he right, but I got him till week 2.
I can't stand this man, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
That is hilarious.
Been out there with Cash Doll.
Cash Doll in Philly, let's go.
Cash Doll, the one and only.
The one and only big homie. But yeah, man.
Cash Doll, she like that. She like that. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
Nonetheless, though,
little storyline going on.
I love it though. That's football. Right. It's theater. It's cinematic. You feel me? I live for this shit.
Do y'all know what we do to these guys if we push them to 0-2? We finish them. Not only did we put belt to ass in the Super Bowl, we can finish them. We can retire.
I think the Eagles blow them out again. I do.
An Arrowhead? That would be ugly.
I think they blow them out again.
That'd be ugly in Arrowhead.
Do. And I'm not even trying to take them lightly. I just think that after that first week, Eagles is, and again, they had time to prepare. They had time to really get right. I just think the Eagles came out of that week 1 game like, okay, all right, we know what we got to do now.
I just think my boy that Cooper gonna get another one on his ass.
I think Jahai Campbell gets a strip sack or some kind of turnover. I think Jahai Campbell gets. Man, I just think that this Chiefs team, this is probably the worst they've been during that dynasty, and I just don't see, with the injuries, with the suspensions of Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy respectively, and Kelsey being old, right? In that game against the Chargers, Kelsey only had 2 catches. One of them was for a touchdown, but outside of that, he was a non-factor. He was not a non-factor in that game. And you mean to tell me Kelsey's going to be able to outrun Zach Bond and Jahai Campbell in the middle of the field? Fuck no. Jahai Campbell and Zach Bond going to work him all night.
They is going to work him. The one thing, he be looking goofy now too when he tired. He be looking, man. He be looking about 65 when he tired.
He be looking like.
Yeah, all that podcasting and
people punching on him and shit now. It's a dude.
Listen,
it's a new day.
Who was that on the Chargers?
That milk.
Ran right in his mouth.
And then he was like looking for the flag.
Ran right in his mouth on the field. What you say, boy? Ran right in his shit on the field. Hey, they different now, y'all. They different. We got to finish them. You know what we got to do, though? We got to stop the run. We have to stop the run.
Pacheco fell off, bro. That's going to be easy. Pacheco fell off, yo. He's not.
Yeah, they said he'd be running like he got on jean shorts.
Did you see the numbers from their running game? Like, I want to say, listen, bro, listen to this. This shit is nuts. I was looking at their offense, right, and just trying to figure out where their running game was or just what was overall going on with it, right? Most of their running game came from Patrick Mahomes scrambling. Again, that's the guy that had to work hard. But when I look at their rushing numbers with the running backs between Pacheco and Kareem Hunt, listen to this. Isaiah Pacheco had 5 attempts, 25 yards, averaged 5 yards a carry, right? But peak game. He had 5 carries, 25 yards, but his longest run of the day was 10 yards. So you subtract 1 run and 10 yards from that 25. On 4 attempts, he ran for 15 yards. 15 yards on 4 attempts. Then Kareem Hunt, 5 attempts, 16 yards. His longest run of the day, 6 yards. So you subtract the 6 yards from his total. You mean to tell me he had 4 carries for 10 yards? They can't run the ball.
They can't run the ball, but they got to be looking at us with a little. They got to be looking at us like we sweet too. If you want to go off week 1, Miles Sanders almost house called us, and Javonte Williams had 2.
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that, right? And those rushing touchdowns were goal line. I'm not even going to really kill them for that. Here's where I push back on the Miles Sanders part, right? Because Miles Sanders run, he ran for that run was for 49 yards, right? 49 total yards. Let's do some quick math real quick, right? The Cowboys ran for a grand total of 119. 119, right? Miles Sanders' the longest run of the day for them was 49 yards. You subtract, and they ran it 22 times. So 22 attempts, 119 rushing yards, and the longest run of the day, 49 yards. You take away the 49 yards from that total, that's only 70 rushing yards on 21 attempts. So for the most part,
of one explosive run, they wasn't really productive.
Outside of the one explosive run, they wasn't really getting off. In the Javonte Williams touchdowns, they were like 2-yard, 3-yard runs. So I can't really look at that run defense.
He had one that bothered me though, Javonte Williams.
I know what you're talking about. They was in the red zone. He carried them niggas to the goal line.
10 yards, like 5 people. I'm like, God damn.
I ain't like that. That's the one play out of the whole game that bothered me the most.
Yeah, I ain't like that because we legitimately looked sweet right there.
Yes, I agree with you 100%. Now I think that was was that the first drive or the second drive for them? I think that was the second drive.
That was second drive.
Yeah. So I agree with you on that. But again, I think all things considered, Eagles can look at that film and look at the outcome and say, we didn't turn the ball over. Quarterback played clean. He only got sacked once, right? Sometimes we used to Jalen Hurts getting sacked 3 times, 4 times in a game. He got sacked once. And Jalen Hurts found a way to win the game without relying on his superstar receivers. Because remember, they criticized Jalen Hurts. Oh, he's an A.J. Brown merchant, tush-push merchant. He can't do nothing without A.J. Brown. He can't win games without Devontae Smith. Dallas Goedert and Jahan Dotson were his leading receivers. I think that's the growth in the quarterback, being able to say, you know what, my number 1 and number 2, it's not their night, but I'm going to still deliver this rock. I'm going to still move the chains. We may not be as explosive, but I'm going to move the chains, convert, put points on the board. I think that speaks to growth at the quarterback position for Jalen Hurts.
No, I agree. You know what I mean? Like, growing up and understanding that, hey, I don't have to just force feed the ball to guys, man. You know what I mean? I'm trying to win this game. A lot of people were force feeding the ball to their wide receivers. Well, not really. The Browns was in hell this week. Chase only got 2 targets. Terry McLaurin only had 2 targets.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? A lot of guys had to do what they had to do, man. They had to do what they had to do. AJ missed a lot of camp, man. For us to even come out there and think that AJ should have had 10 targets, 150 yards. I mean, he missed a lot of camp. It's guys who
he was on ice for weeks.
Yeah, right, I feel like he only practiced like 2 or 3 times.
It's guys that were stepping in his place that deserve the opportunities and probably would have better chemistry with Jalen at the moment, like a Jahan Dotson who caught a 50-yard bomb.
And you got a new OC. Throw in a new OC into that conversation.
Yeah.
So new OC, your number 1 receiver did not practice all summer for the most part, or all training camp for the most part. Regardless of the film study, they gotta execute those plays and walk through those plays and get rhythm and shit on rhythm and so on and so forth. So, you know, I think I made this bold prediction. I think AJ Brown has 2 touchdowns before second half in that game. I think AJ Brown gonna go off in that game. I really do. Yeah, the Chiefs game. Yeah, I think AJ Brown goes off. I think AJ has 2 touchdowns before halftime.
I think the Chiefs changed the way that they guard Jalen Hurts. I mean, I would. I would change the way I play him, man, because trying to blitz him with the Spagnolia blitz and letting them guys go one-on-one, they would be a fool to do it because they're going to get blown out. They're going to get blown out if they try to blitz Jalen Hurts, man. If it's anybody that Jalen Hurts know how to beat, it's the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm. Did you see his numbers? Did you see his stats?
Right.
Did you see his stats against the Chiefs? They better change their whole way of thinking. They better do what the Cowboys did.
But I feel
and that ain't even work.
Earlier when you were saying that getting Tank might mean this really like a much more run-heavy offense, that's a good point.
Yeah. It could be. It could mean that. Or you really can't say that because you got four weapons, you know what I mean, in the passing game where like 3 of them is elite and 1 is a first-round pick in Dotson.
We got so many weapons, bro. It's so many people we got to feed each week.
I mean, not really. I think the only person need to get fed is Jalen Hurts, man. If you want to keep winning championships, cool. If you want to if you want to source your numbers, we could pack you up for a first. A lot of people worth a lot of firsts. I'm trying to win championships.
I agree with you 100%. And I think the way the Eagles play football, the way Jalen Hurts plays football,
it's how you win championships.
He paces himself throughout the season. I mean, you really just think about how he moves through the year. He paces himself, and he understands that the regular season is just a prerequisite to the ultimate goal. So I think ultimately, like he speaks. He said, "Yo, just win, just stack the wins, And once the playoffs start, we unleash what we do." That's kind of how it happened last year. You know, they just win. And playoffs started, and they did what they did.
Win.
I was wondering, I'm like, yo, who got a cat, yo? I'm like, what the hell? It's like somebody was saying meow or some shit.
I said win, like, you know, the little Rocky. Win.
Just win, Rock. Oh, man, but no, Jalen Hurts' career against Mahomes and the Chiefs is pretty remarkable. I mean, the team averages 31 and a half points a game. They average 320 total yards. He has a touchdown to interception ratio 11-2 and a pass rating of 100.2. I mean, he is the Spagnuolo killer.
Yeah.
He's the Spagnuolo killer.
It seems like everybody getting a turn now.
For sure, man. Let's get to these super chats, y'all. We really do appreciate y'all for locking in the way you guys have been. It's always fun, man, when we do this show, man. Me and LB always have our customary argument, our customary debate. But I love it, man. I look forward to it.
When Tone lean back in that seat, that arm be on that first desk, and his seat lean back like this, he is not feeling what somebody just said. And he just waiting to get in.
He'd be like, really?
He'll let you finish talking. That's where you wrong. That's where you wrong.
Right.
Yo, y'all the bid, man. Y'all are hilarious. Okay, let's see what we got here, man. Y'all got me down pat. I ain't mad at it though. We got Dejean with the super chat. Thank you, Dejean. He said LB looking like a Midwest player with the frames on. I told him he had the cocaine shades on.
These my St. Laurent Jones, man.
Those the gold blooms.
Nice little sunset orange.
My man says sunset orange.
That's what the lady told
me. Johnny Beatmaker with the super chat. He said Chiefs, Geeks, and no Tyreek, Eagles in 5. He funny, man. War, my guy with the super chat. He said Cowboys fans throwing the parade like they didn't lose, so we didn't get blown out parade. Yo, I'm gonna be honest, man. I've been really paying attention to just the landscape. I've never seen a team this excited about losing a game.
Yeah, they're
Dallas.
Yeah, Dallas. Yeah,
it put them in a new category to me, man. I don't even make fun of them dudes no more, man. I just think they
just happy to be here.
They're just happy Dak played a good game. That's it. They're like, well, Dak always plays good against the Eagles. He lost.
I mean, they're so down bad that they are making clips of incomplete passes go viral.
Oh.
Like they're happy that incomplete passes are going viral, right? They got incomplete passes going viral. I mean, come on, bro.
Bro, they were like, "Oh my god, look at that dot! He didn't complete the pass."
A dot? You mean the pass that was thrown and Cooper Dejean stuck his hand in there and raked the ball out? That's a dot,
bro. It's spooky over there, man.
It's sad, bro.
Brandon Williams with the super chat. What's up, Brandon? He says, great meeting y'all at the Linc Thursday. Symone, my wife said to tell you thanks for the bracelet.
Oh, shout out to you, Brandon. Great to meet y'all. Glad she liked the bracelet. I got to get some more bracelets for next game. But yeah, we met.
You went at it with Tuck. You went at it with Tuck yesterday, Symone. He was being delusional too.
Yeah, I had to go at it with Tuck. I had to hit him with the silencer too. I hit him with the silencer last night. I got to post that clip.
What you hit him with?
I can't remember what I said.
No. Where that other clip at?
Huh?
Where that other clip at?
What, the trivia?
Yeah.
So that's like, I gotta edit that footage. It's like 10 minutes of chaotic footage. We was going at it for a long time.
Any other time you'd have been edited. The only reason why it's 10 minutes is because you was cheating. Any other time it would have been edited and out. Had you would have won. Last time when you won, I didn't have to ask for the footage. The footage was out there. Everybody like LB must have been drunk. LB must have been that. I did my homework, Tone. And I think what was it like? It was we did the best out of 5.
We see the problem is we kept switching up the rules mid-game. First it was first to 10, then they switched it first to 5, then they switched it. It was some bullshit. That's all
I knew. And you know what? I'm happy. You know what? Next time I know what I'm gonna do next time. Next time I'm gonna let you win that. I might retire after this win.
I'm not even mad that I lost. I'm mad that the game was fixed.
For who?
No. It wasn't your fault, LB. Let me add some context.
You trying to say it was Dylan?
No.
He right there. You trying to say it was Dylan?
LB won trivia fair and square. It was at no fault of LB. He won fair and square. The refs and the administrators of the game kept switching up the rules. So I didn't like the way the game was called.
Okay. You know what she did all this. She was out there pumping iron. Oh, just going crazy.
She was going crazy.
Did I tell you we had a ball at that tailgate?
No, we was, bro.
Knock it tell you every time.
We had a ball
walking around.
I got to make more.
I had 30,000 steps.
Bro, we was walking.
I had 30,000 steps. We walked every lot. Probably twice.
We did.
Yeah, I gotta get out there for a game this season.
Bro, yes.
I got to figure out which game, and we'll be able to figure out from there.
Washington,
I wanted to be
Washington, January.
Oh yeah, we home for that one, right? Yeah. We played them like twice in like 3 weeks, right? Or twice in like 4 weeks. It's like real like condensed.
December 20th and then January 5th.
Yeah, that's crazy. Alex with the super chat says LB got it wrong. Tank is better than AJ Dillon. Also, 2 guys are on the rookie deals while 1 ain't. Oh yeah, Shipley on the rookie deal.
How I get it wrong? I think if he better than Shipley, then he better than Dillon probably too.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't really know the angle, but regardless, I think I like AJ Dillon. AJ Dillon had a run that I liked on Thursday. Granted, he only got like 2 or 3 touches, but he had one run that was real strong. I think.
Yeah, I like AJ Dillon. I think he need to get more runs.
That's what I think. I think they need more variation with that. But again, week 1, you fill it out. We'll see. Samir Jefferson with the super chat says, "Do y'all think the Chiefs' aura is burning out? Does this mean their championship run is over?" First of all, we put that flame out. We did that. We put that flame out. We showed people that these guys really they was on borrowed time. If you think about the way their season went last year, they went off of blocked field goals and missed field goals and these close calls. Like they weren't a dominant team last year. So when you put all that into the pot of gumbo, you look at them like, oh, they can be had, and they can definitely be had. Rocky 4 says, "Do y'all think Sirianni is calling?"
It's up to us, bro.
Y'all always say this whenever you.
Right, they always say that whenever they don't like the game.
Whenever they don't like the game plan for that day, y'all think Sirianni call please? Like, what the fuck, bro? Y'all think Sirianni ain't learned his lesson? Like, this man is a Super Bowl champion. Get the fuck off, man. Damn. Shout out to Rocky 4, man. I appreciate the super chat.
Appreciate you.
Zamir Mike talking about LB be overreacting. That's your problem. Y'all want to be too cool. Y'all want to be too cool, calm, and collected. Y'all was cool, proudly. Keely Ringo. It's lined up beautiful. Y'all was cool and calm and collected about that. Y'all be too cool. Y'all be too laid back. I ain't talking about you before. I ain't talking about you before you get.
I just want to make sure, like, because it felt like you was talking to me, but you wasn't talking to me.
I ain't talking about you. I'm talking about all of y'all in unison. Everybody. Somebody said LB be overreacting, but everybody be too cool. Everybody be too laid back, and everybody be too okay with looking at nonsense. I'm not okay with that. I'm not Elliott Shore Parks. I don't think that this is an acceptable loss for the Eagles.
No, what are you
talking about?
That's how I know.
You got the
they
OGs.
Get paid to go. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Right. Then you got the OGs like Seth Joyner. Like, what are you talking about? An acceptable loss?
What the?
These guys are short-handed. Like, what? Why should we of all people be scared of a team we just beat the dog hell out? And then this how I know it's a plot. I know it's a real plot because you'll call it an acceptable loss, but if we lose, you'll blame Jalen Hurts. for what you deem as an acceptable loss. Man, get out of here, Elliot. You sit up there when you first walk into the stadium.
Is that the guy you talk?
Elliot Shore Parks.
The guy Elliot Shore Parks. When you first walk into the stadium, Symone, you see Ike and them on WIP.
Wait,
they all up there.
You responding to something on Twitter? I thought this was somebody in the chat you was talking to.
He is
first, but then I went to Elliot.
Oh, okay.
So you walk in the stadium and you see Ike and them right there giving their broadcast.
I've seen him. I got him blocked. I know you're talking about.
Yeah, he up there, goofy ass shades on, looking stupid, looking like you only come to the city for Eagles games. You don't know nothing about the fabric of the city for you to say something like that, bro. We don't accept no L's. We don't accept no defeat.
What did he say?
Not cool.
He said that it would be an acceptable. He said it would be an acceptable loss if the Eagles lost to the Chiefs because it's the Chiefs lost to the Chargers, meaning they're going to be motivated. It's their home opener. This is an acceptable loss. There's no such fucking thing as an acceptable loss. What are you talking about?
He said the only thing that won't be acceptable is if we get blown out. That's the same as losing.
You lost. What are we talking about?
What do you mean, bro? Like, get out of here, bro. With Philadelphia, listen. Real Philadelphians don't think like that. Real Eagles fans don't think like that. We're not accepting no defeat. We better beat them without Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy and the way that offensive line looked. We better go on the road and beat them.
You beat them 40-6 in the Super Bowl. I'm saying 40-6. I don't care about that garbage shit. You beat them 40-6 in the Super Bowl. You mean to tell me week 2 you played them as an acceptable loss? You just dog walk these niggas. What are we talking about?
Just dog walk them. Like, what do you mean?
I ain't listening, man. Listen, it's certain people on WIP that I got genuine respect for. Certain people, very specific people. Shout out to my man Rob Ellis, man. Got real love for Rob Ellis. That's my guy. It's one of my mentors. But other than that, what's his name? Joe Gigolo and Joe Gigolo and what's the other ball over there?
Gigolo.
ESP and they just be talking. You. I like you and Ike. They keep the show grounded. And John Ritchie.
I like Broads too. He be on there.
Yeah, Broads. Yeah. I like Broads too. I think he be doing like spots on there as well. I like Broads. But it's some guys that I'm like they live to infuriate the fan base because they believe that's how you get the best. That's how they get clicks. And it's like it's just weird energy. It's just weird energy. That's why
Jalen Hurts mind you, he only give a grade every training camp for Jalen Hurts. He don't grade nobody else. He grades nobody else but the quarterback, bro, because that's his bread and butter. It's an acceptable loss until we lose. Then you pointing the finger at Jalen Hurts.
Mm-hmm. So what was that, man? Zamir Jefferson with the super chat says Swagoo on ESPN said it. The Chiefs have been so dependent on Mahomes that, in my opinion, they lost sight on playing as a team. It's so funny he said that, right? Because there was a play at the end of that game where Chris Jones and I think, is it Joe Tranquil or Dan Tranquil, the linebacker for the Chiefs? Tranquil, nonetheless. They had to get the Chargers off the field to get that ball back. And what ended up happening was Chris Jones broke containment. He didn't do his job because he was too busy trying to get the sack. And that allowed Justin Herbert to break out and for that game clinching run. And you saw Tranquil and Chris Jones arguing on the sideline or arguing on the field, but the whole time Tranquil was like, "Yo, we talked about this all week. Do your job. We knew this was coming. We talked about it." But to this point, they are so dependent on Mahomes, and I think that's the curse of having a guy like that. You just think that everything he does is magic, and he could just turn bullshit into lemonade. And sometimes you're just not a good team, and nobody can fix that. Shout out to Zamir Jefferson with the super chat. Let's see here. Rocky Ford says it's trash. We got to play Chiefs away though. Shake my head. I mean, I ain't worried about that.
I do hate that. I feel like if they was going to screw us and give us 2 games, two home joints consecutive, it could have been the Cowboys and the Chiefs. And then then you could have did all the other weird stuff. How you doing this now?
Yeah, we have no back-to-back home games all year. It's always home away, home away, home away, home away, which is kind of annoying for the fan base.
They trying, but I think we're gonna overcome.
Yeah. Marcus Craig with the super chat says Symone saw y'all at live on Wednesday night.
What's up, Marcus? Yeah, I saw a lot of people at live. Got them.
Rocky Ford says ESP still owed Dejean an apology for that BS article. Yeah,
Saw
that's
him
the
at camp this year. You think he got an apology? No.
That's the article where he tried to say he was a gang member or some shit like that.
Right.
He just put them shades on.
He looked right at me on Thursday too. I walked up there and I said, "What's up?" to Ike. He was at the Dejean. You know what I mean? And I was showing him the band. I was like, "Ike," he said, "What's up?" He pointed at me. ESP looked right at me, bro. I seen it through the shades. I seen the disgust in his eyes because he know that he not of the cloth. He know that. He know that I know that he is a Judas. He has snuck behind the ranks. He has made his way behind the ranks. He's trying to blend in, but I know.
He's a Trojan horse.
Yeah, he's definitely a Trojan horse.
Yeah, that little stupid haircut. Anyway, that's our super chat, y'all. Any final things y'all want to get to before we get out of here, man? I mean, matter of fact, real quick, is there any games y'all did see other than the Eagles game that really was like fun for y'all? That Jets and Steelers game was fun.
Jets and Steelers was a movie.
No, that
Baltimore,
that Bills and Ravens game was crazy.
That Vikings game ended good too with the Vikings.
Even Sunday Night Football. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm excited about Thursday. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I feel like that's an Eagles game. Right.
I can't wait.
I can't wait, bro, because I know what's about to happen.
What's about to happen? I don't know.
Hey,
I feel like
that Commanders, I think the Commanders about to get exposed.
You think so?
I think if the Commanders come out there and do the exposing, I ain't got nothing else bad to say about JD5. I ain't got nothing else bad. I think they about to get exposed. I think this is a bad matchup, bro. I think this Packers is a bad matchup for these guys.
Yeah, man. The Packers got something going over there. But again, like I said,
because a little bit they struggled with the Giants for a major part of that game. They struggled a little bit with the Giants, so we're gonna see. But I'm excited for that game.
Yeah, that Giants defense.
This game is gonna tell a lot about both teams. We're about to learn about both teams.
Yeah. Right. You know, like I said, man, remember last year the Saints, they were supposed to be that team those first couple weeks, and then they ran into us, right? So, you know, it's gonna be a couple teams that people think are it, and then we find out they're really not. So nonetheless, though, I think it's gonna be real exciting. But LB, you right, that Bills Ravens game was off the charts. I mean,
bro,
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Sleep. I thought it was over.
What?
I missed it.
I know Ravens games are never over.
Ravens gonna give you a chance. Let's think about the Ravens. They're gonna give you a chance to beat them. They're gonna give you a chance to beat them.
Then I went to sleep on a Vikings game because I thought that was over.
No, that was a good game.
I was sick, bro.
Bro, the Vikings, those players was so hyped, bro. I've never seen players so hyped like that. That defense, like, you would have thought they was playing in the Super Bowl or something. The way they was like, after every play, they was like jumping up and down, huddling up. Like, after every play,
it was a comeback. It was a comeback.
I know, but the level of excitement, I just never seen that so consistently in a regular season game, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of teams was about to storm the field like it was a playoff clinching win or something.
Shout out to Isaiah Rodgers though.
Yeah, for sure. Look, I know it's only week one.
It hurts. He was locked down too.
Yeah, but he got ran over a couple times in that game. He got cracked a couple times.
He fin though.
He light, man. But nonetheless, though, he did have a good game in coverage. But yeah, like I just think like watching that Bills and Ravens game, I'm saying to myself, a lot of points was put up, but if I'm a fan, I'm not too encouraged about those defenses. I'm not, because the Ravens spent a lot of money on that defense, a lot. And for them to look like that and give up that comeback, they just looked undisciplined. Jair Alexander was getting worked by Keon Coleman all night. Jair Alexander was pass interference bull all night. He looked so fucking bad. Like
I ain't gonna lie, man. That shit had me look at Josh Allen MVP a little different. Like maybe he is.
No, that was crazy.
That's how he was playing last season.
Now, granted, they were. I watched that game twice as well. They got bailed out a couple times with some key penalties. And another example, I think there was like 4th and 2, 4th and 3. They're in the red zone, and Josh Allen throws a touchdown pass, but the person it was intended for, it got tipped up and somehow, some way, it ended up in Keon Coleman's hands. So there was plenty of times in that game where they really should have been down and out, but the Ravens let them hang around. And but Josh Allen still did what he did. Lamar Jackson, on the other hand, you got to get that first down. I'm sorry. You get that first down, the game is over. So
then Derrick Henry with the uncharacteristic fumble though was crazy.
Right.
Bro, I felt so bad. Bro, Derrick Henry was going off, bro.
Man, they had no answers for him. They had no answers for him.
None.
Yeah.
They had zero answers for Derrick Henry, man. But that was a good game, man. I think I feel like the Ravens are just so used to being let down for some reason. It just sucks to be them.
Yeah.
Bro, they don't know how to win games. They're talented. They can put up the numbers. They're gonna go into the playoffs with like a 12-5 or 13-4 record. They're gonna do all of that, right? But they don't know how to close games. They don't. They're too talented for them to be who they are. They just can't close games. And I don't know. I don't know what you blame for that. Do you blame coaching for that? Do you blame just the personnel not being focused? But that goes back to coaching. I mean, I don't know, man. But it looks even worse for Baltimore because that's the team you lost to in the playoffs.
Right.
And that's the guy that everybody said that shouldn't have got MVP and Lamar should have got it.
And that's the team you built up all this defensive roster to beat.
Yeah. And then you don't know another thing is so funny about this dynamic in the AFC. Lamar can't beat Josh. Josh can't beat Patrick.
Patrick can't beat Jalen Hurts.
And Joe Burrow
that's how the cookie crumbles.
Joe Burrow can't even get in the playoffs.
And Burrow can't even get in the playoffs.
He can't even get 130 yards on the Browns. It's ridiculous. Nonetheless, y'all, it's been a hell of a show. Make sure I got all these super chats out the way. We got one last one. Shaq 93 says, do y'all think Jalen's got to give up snaps if Uche keep playing like this? I think it's one of those situations where you go with the high hand, period.
They was holding the hell out of Uche.
They was holding a lot in that game they didn't call. But it's what it is. I do feel like the refs had a closer eye on the Eagles than they did the Cowboys. Just my personal opinion, but it is what it is, man. But that's the show, y'all. Make sure y'all smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, man. We really do appreciate the love and the support. You guys have been phenomenal as always. Again, make sure you guys are subscribed to Symone with the Sports. She does fantastic work, not only covering your Philadelphia Eagles, but she's covering all sports, man. She's a jack of all trades, or a Jacqueline of all trades, however you want to look at it. You feel me? We got LB going crazy with the content. The Broad Street Bully, man. You see him, you better duck. You feel me? And make sure you guys lock in on Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. Y'all, that's the show. We out of here, man. Time to play the song.